Hello and welcome. You are watching Gravitas Plus. I am Molly Gambhir. Earlier this week, this video surfaced, followed by international condemnation, sharp reactions over Israel's treatment of the pro-Palestinian activists who were on board the Gaza-bound aid flotilla. Israel's national security minister posted a video with activists seen kneeling with their hands tied behind their backs. The video drew sharp criticism and angry reactions from multiple quarters. The countries expressing outrage included the United States, the UK, France, Italy, Canada, among others. The activist treatment also drew a rebuke from the Israeli Prime Minister, who said the minister's conduct was not in line with Israel's values and norms. According to a spokesperson, the European Commission reportedly found the treatment of the Gaza Flotilla activists shown in the video completely unacceptable. The Italian Prime Minister reacted, saying, "This is completely inadmissible." The crisis exploded after the minister uploaded that video with the international activists from the flotilla, including multiple Italian citizens. The Canadian Prime Minister also reacted angrily to condemn Israel's action. On Monday, the Israeli forces had intercepted the flotilla, which was more than 250 nautical miles from the Gaza Strip, still in international waters. After learning about the interception, the Irish president, for example, also stated that the incident was quite upsetting, quote unquote. So essentially, the video drew sharp reactions and criticism from multiple quarters. Here's what else you need to know. The flotilla, having set sail from southern Turkey, was making a renewed attempt to deliver aid to Gaza, with organizers reportedly saying they aim to break Israel's blockade of Gaza by delivering humanitarian assistance, something aid bodies say is still in short supply despite the US brokered ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, in place since October 2025, that includes guarantees of increased aid. Israel says its naval blockade on Gaza is lawful. Let's just zoom into what the situation in Gaza has been looking like over time. Most of Gaza's more than 2 million people have reportedly been displaced, with many now living in bombed-out homes, makeshift tents pitched on open ground. Amid a sea of tents sheltering more than 1.5 million people in the Gaza Strip, a new menace has been on the prowl, that of rodents and insects, with the heat conditions also adding to the misery of the people. According to a UNRWA situation report on the humanitarian crisis in the Gaza Strip, medical surveillance teams continue to report an increase in infections. According to the report, the ability of the UNRWA and humanitarian partners to control the spread of rodents and parasites remains constrained by a severe shortage of pesticides and hygiene supplies, as well as by a lack of supplies to sustain waste removal and sewage operations, lack of access to landfills, and limited progress on rubble removal. The report says since March 2025, the Israeli authorities have been blocking UNRWA from directly bringing humanitarian personnel and aid into the Gaza Strip. According to the report, despite the huge needs on the ground, UNRWA was unable to therefore distribute the aid it had pre-positioned outside Gaza, which included enough food parcels, shelter supplies for hundreds of thousands of people. According to the report, severe shortages of engine oil and spare parts, placing life-saving humanitarian operations at risk across the Gaza Strip. It says health services are particularly impacted as most facilities rely on generators that face frequent breakdowns. At the same time, it says water production, pumping and distribution systems alongside wastewater and solid waste management are at imminent risk of failure as they depend almost entirely on the aging generators that are operating beyond design limits. It also says that without urgent resupply, disruptions to healthcare, safe water access, waste collection are expected to rapidly escalate public health risks and operational constraints. Last month itself, it was reported that according to local and international agencies, around 90% of Gaza's population relies on humanitarian assistance. Large parts of the territory remain devastated, with many families living in temporary shelters or tents, children growing up in heartbreaking conditions. Aid deliveries increased under the ceasefire reportedly, but remain limited relative to the scale of the need. Also, another big question: what about Trump's Gaza Board of Peace? The Board of Peace, which was founded by the United States President in January to oversee the administration and reconstruction of the Gaza Strip. The US-led board recently reported a critical gap between its financial commitments and actual disbursements, warning of an urgent liquidity crisis, according to the Reuters news agency. With much of the territory either damaged or off limits, and such a huge number of people now concentrated into a fraction of the Strip, further straining the limited resources and services, the woes of the Gazans are expanding as time passes by, triggering mounting concern and a series of questions.